Hello there, Harvir. Well done for getting this far in the course, and thank you for submitting your first essays. I've already had a read through them, and they look pretty good for a first set. So well done there. What I'll be doing is reading through sentence by sentence and giving you some tips and guidance towards achieving exactly what the IELTS examiner is looking for. So first of all, some people think that reading will help to develop a person's personality, while others opine that indulging in some enjoyable activities, enjoyful is not a word, enjoyable activities will help more. We could make this sound more formal here by saying that indulging in enjoyable activities is more effective. In my opinion, we could here just say, in my opinion, entertaining activities are better for developing the skills and imagination of young people. We're not specifically referring to teenagers, so it would be better to say young people. And also, you have switched from saying a teenager and then started referring to your reader instead. My recommendation, and actually something that's necessary in the IELTS exam, is not to use personal pronouns to refer to your reader or individuals. We're not here to discuss individual people or their ideas. We're here to discuss the ideas objectively. So in my opinion, entertaining activities develop the skills and imagination of young people better than reading alone. In the following paragraphs, I will support my viewpoint with the argument. I would say I will support my viewpoint by arguing the benefits of console gaming and sporting activities. So essentially, in your introduction, all that's required of you is that you discuss the contention, which you have done here, that you give your opinion, which you have done here, and that you highlight the main ideas that you will use in your body paragraphs, which you have done here. The only thing I needed to correct there was for formality and for grammatical smoothness. So now, in a body paragraph, what we're expected to do, let me just correct this, it's getting on my nerves. What we're expected to do in a body paragraph is to introduce the idea that we're going to talk about. So, playing games on consoles will enhance, we don't need this, personality traits and thinking power. That's perfect. Like I said, stay away from those sorts of things in academic writing, especially in body paragraphs. This is largely because while playing on, I would here say, consoles such as the PlayStation, because this use of this brand name here isolates the example to one specific console, rather than saying playing on consoles such as the PlayStation. So we could actually say this is largely because playing on consoles such as the PlayStation will, actually we've already used develop, so let's say improve spatial awareness See, I'm not sure how this relates, because you don't support this in your example and you don't support this in your final statement either. So this is additional information unsupported. So what I would do here is relate it to the sentence. So this is largely because playing on consoles such as the PlayStation will improve spatial awareness and other cognitive traits. For example, recent research by Harvard indicates that students who, let's say, who play. And let's leave the brand name out of it. Who play console games. Perform 10% better in aptitude exams as compared to other students. Good. Therefore, here, let's not say we, let's say it can be said. It can be said that people should promote these games as it will help in sharpening one's mind. Brilliant. So here, we can get rid of that and get rid of that. Secondly, sports teach a variety of skills. And then I don't like using the word not to create a negative sentence. So what I'm going to do here, sports teach a variety of skills which reading is unable to develop. And then we have a positive sentence speaking precisely about the effect that we're talking about. Here we should say this is due to the fact that sports improve agility and the ability to compete with others. Team sports teach the importance of teamwork, one word, and coordination, not hyphenated. To illustrate, I'm sure you didn't mean that, it has been seen that sports, this should be plural, so sports people, used to have more cognitive and physical abilities. This is an incomplete example, so we should say, so what's the effect we're talking about? Or if we get rid of this, it has been seen that sports people, or it has been measured that sports people have more cognitive and physical abilities than those who live a sedentary, I think I may have spelled that wrong, sedentary. Sedentary means not moving, sitting still. A sedentary lifestyle, someone who works in an office, for instance, lives a sedentary lifestyle. Basically just someone who spends their life still. So in order to use an example fully, we really should talk about one, who was being measured, what they were being compared with, and by what degree the difference was. What was the magnitude of the difference? Now the magnitude of the difference doesn't necessarily have to be there, but if you're looking for a band 8 or 9, it would have to be there. But if you're looking for a band 7, just the people we're measuring, the comparative group, and the effect is fine. And this is incorrect because to derive that these skills are impossible to learn through reading is not as a consequence of sports people. So we could say, actually, furthermore, because we're appending this point, we're sticking something else on the end. These skills and traits learned from sports are impossible to learn by, actually, I prefer through, are impossible to learn through reading, as it requires, as it requires no movement. So then because we've got sedentary lifestyle here, and we also comment on that here, we say that, and I think actually, the skill, that's better. Furthermore, The skills and traits learned from sports are impossible to I'm trying to think of a different word than develop or improve. Actually, let's say advance. Now, normally, I wouldn't correct your work like this. I would correct it with my voice only, and then you would go through and correct it yourself. So in the next essay, I will not type, I will only speak. I would say here that what we need to do is simplify this, and we should just say to conclude or in conclusion. And I would say I hold that activities, and we should always change like to such as. Like is very informal. I hold that activities such as console games and sports help us to improve our skills and thinking in ways which reading is unable to. You also used can't then. Actually, don't finish a sentence with a preposition. Which reading is unable is fine. I would say as well, you used can't and it's. Now, we don't use contractions in academic writing. Contractions are there to make speech smoother, but in formal writing, we never ever use them. Never ever ever. Going forward, we should promote all. I like in this essay to use the word engaging, because it gets down to the point that why are skills developed better? Well, it's because they're more engaging. If someone is enjoying a task, they're more likely to take more from it. So I like to use the word engaging to demonstrate that what we're talking about is the fact that it improves the attention span of people who are the ones enjoying these activities. So that humans, we can just say humans, and it's the plural there, they as well. Multiple humans, their full potential. So that's your first one. Let's move on to essay number 2. So in this essay, there's been a slight misunderstanding about the content that is required. Communication is less between family members of late. Of late means recently. So what this essay is asking you to do is decide whether you believe communication is better or worse in the modern age, and explore the reasons behind that. So what most people do is talk about the prevalence of technology, and so we have reasons, and also the pressures from work. In the modern society, people who are forced to work 50, 60 hours each week have less time to speak to their family. People who spend all day online speak to their family only through digital communication, and therefore the emotional content of conversations is lost. So I'll give you the opportunity, if you like, to rewrite this essay, because if I correct this one, it won't be a worthwhile correction. Now, I get that a late person is a dead person, and this is probably why you have written about communication during times of loss. But what we need to make sure that we do is that we respond accurately to the question that's been asked. In the task and achievement section of the mark scheme, a huge part of it is just on whether the question was responded to well. So if you don't respond to any part of the question, you will score very low in that section. So communication is less between family members of late, or there is less communication between modern family members, would be the same. interpersonal communication between relatives has reduced in the modern age? So answer that question instead if you'd like, or you are more than welcome to move straight on to the next essays. It's entirely up to you. But like I said, I can't really correct this one because it isn't an accurate response. But I'll send these over to you now. Let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you very soon. All the best, pal.